together. It seems like you have been away forever. Things change, things rearrange, the house remains the same. I can't wait for you and I to be together. 'Cause it's your love, your love, your love, your love, your love. I'm forever in your love. 'Cause it's your love, your love, your love, your love, your love. I'm forever in your love. I'm feeling down, my head spun around. Come on, kitty, it's heading to town. I got a case of the blue days, wanna trade for a rainy day. Pick up a stick, give it a flick. Wish you were here, it's making me sick. Another day is gonna stray. Now I'm only 7 days away from your love, your love, your love, your love, your love. I'm forever in your love. 'Cause it's your love, your love, your love, your love, your love. I'm forever in your love. 6 days you and I will be together. I can't wait to give you so much pleasure. 5, 4, 3, the longest day for me. 2 to 1, you here, let's have some fun. Baby, I just wanna kiss your lips forever. It's your love, your love, your love, your love, your love. I'm forever in your love. 'Cause it's your love, your love, your love, your love, your love. I'm forever in your love. 'Cause it's your love. I used to walk all alone in the park, and I don't know why, but I'd start to cry.
I used to think that I'd never find the one till you walked by, till you walked by.
I turned to look, and you met me at the eyes. I felt the vibe when you said hi.
I never believed in love at first sight till you walked by, till you walked by.
Now I'm covered in you,
I'm covered in you
like standing in sunshine. I close my eyes, and I know I'm fine, and it feels so good. Been waiting for a lifetime. I feel anew. I'm covered in you.
Sometimes I think that love is just a word that people say, then it flies away.
I never thought that surely one day it'd come my way. Well, it'd come my way.
And now I find myself standing in white here next to you, staring in your eyes.
Can't wait to tell and I know I'm fine, and it feels so good. Been waiting for a lifetime. I'm feeling new. I'm covered in you. Girl, I'm so lucky.
Boy, I'm so glad
you came into my life. We got each other
more than we had.
Now I found you. I'm no longer sad. Now I'm covered in you.
I'm covered in you.
Like standing in the sunshine, I close my eyes, and I know I'm fine, and it feels so good. Been waiting for a lifetime, I'm feeling new. I'm covered in you.
I'm covered in you.
I'm covered in you.
I'm covered in you.
I'm covered in you. I'm covered in you. Since you've been gone, my heart has been torn, babe. I don't know what to do. Where do I begin? Seems I've lost my only friend. There's gotta be something that I can do. My heart is saying, ooh, ooh, oh, 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 oh. Feels like I'm dying, ooh, ooh, oh, 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 oh. I know I really hurt you, baby, deep down in my soul. Now my heart is crying, ooh, ooh, oh, 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 oh. I've sent 10 dozen roses. Girl, I miss your closeness, but you won't even talk to me. I know you made up your mind, but I just want a little time to tell you that I miss you and me. My heart is saying, ooh, 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 oh, 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 oh. Feels like I'm dying, ooh, 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 oh, 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 oh. I know I really hurt you, baby, deep down in my soul. Now my heart is crying, ooh, 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 oh, 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 oh. Girl, I really know I messed up here. All I've only got is just a prayer. I hope you truly know how much I care. Babe, I haven't seen you for a while. Been trying to call you up on your mobile. I just need to see your face, your smile. My heart is saying, ooh, oh, 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 oh. It's like I'm dying, ooh, oh, 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 oh. I know I really hurt you, baby, deep down in your soul. Now my heart is crying, ooh, 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 oh, 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 oh. My heart is saying, ooh. Feels like I'm dying, ooh, oh, 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 oh. I know I really hurt you,
everyone, this is Alan Palmer, and you're watching Annie Talks.
Annie Talks, Annie Talks. Welcome to the show. Here we go with Annie Talks. Annie Talks, Annie Talks. Welcome to the show. Here's your host, it's Annie Talks.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Annie Talk Show. Hello. It is Tuesday, and it is podcast night. I am with my very, very special friend. I cannot wait for you guys to get to hear him and to talk to him. But first of all, let's say hello. Hello, Alan Palmer. Hello.
Hi, Annie. It's good to be here.
It's very nice to have you. Okay, so I'm going to brag about you. Here's where I do all my bragging. I'm going to tell everybody who Alan Palmer is. Well, at least from my perspective. You guys, Alan Palmer is most known to TV audiences as Corcus on the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Other film and television credits include Bravo's The People's Couch, Jon Benjamin Has a Van for Comedy Central, Hot Springs Hotel, Compromising Situations, both for Showtime, and something else, Heaven's Idiot, Accidentally in Love, Mind You Manners, you guys, he's got a list of credits to high heaven, Brother Red, The Club, and a series regular on the sketch comedy show Skin Deep Detergent. He also, I'm telling you, I'm going to read it verbatim here. He's got New York credits, which include the music of Andrew Lloyd Webber's Michael Crawford at Radio City Music Hall, the off-Broadway shows Bernie's Bar Mitzvah, Making Waves, Songs the Girls Sang, and his one-man show Fabulous Divas of Broadway, in which he portrayed 32 women of the Broadway stage and the Fabulous Divas of Hollywood, where he pays tribute to 22. Alan played Alvin in Cage Aux Folles at San Jose Playhouse, and annually plays the role of Frank-N-Furter at the Barn Theatre in Michigan. He originated the role of Gerard Damiano in the world premiere of Lovelace, a rock opera at the Hayworth Theatre written by Charlotte Caffey, the GoGos, from the GoGos, Anna Waronker, I'm saying it
Waronker.
Waronker, thank you, and Jeffery Bowman, garnering him an L.A.Weekly Award. Alan played Albert Peterson in Bye Bye Birdie with Copper Star Repertory, receiving a Zony Award nomination for Best Guest Artist. CD recordings include Songs for Souls for the Homeless Children's Charity Project, in which he cast homeless and street musicians to play. Oh, that's so cool. On the country recording. Boy Next Door, a dance CD, 100,000 copies sold worldwide. Just one person Broadway jazz show. Alan Palmer live at the, say this for me,
Cinegrill.
Jazz, Fabulous Divas of Broadway original cast, and Dick and Dolores, which is also an original cast. He was also a singer in Europe with the Chippendales. You guys, do I need to say anymore? Please, everybody, please, warm welcome for my guest, Alan Palmer. Yay.
Thank you so much for having me, Annie.
Good
to see you again, actually.
Yes.
It's amazing.
It's so I wanted to tell a little bit about like how you and I know each other. I think it was I was brought in as a ringer. You were doing a show. You were already cast as the lead or the main lead, yes, for Chess, which is a musical. I want to say rock opera. Am I right in saying that?
It's a rock opera.
Yeah, rock opera.
It is.
So tell us what your role was. I was cast as a ringer, so I was just brought in as just a background vocalist, and then I ended up doing something else, and I actually was dancing with you. So tell us. So tell us a little bit about your role on that.
I was the American in the piece, and Frederick, right? And it was really quick. The director, as you remember, got sick and ended up in the hospital. And so I ended up kind of helping direct and choreograph and kind of putting everything together at final
Right.
minutes. It was a crazy time, but it was a fun cast, and everyone had a great time. And Jonas brought together a good group of people that
Hmm.
very sweet together.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And this is how I met you. And I think, since then, I think we've tried to do a couple other little gigs afterwards, and it just, something
Yeah,
just didn't pan out. And then you moved, and then goodness gracious, it was just a whole thing. So,
yeah,
but yeah, I'm excited. So let's step back even just a little bit farther. So I'd like everybody to know, basically, can you share a little bit more about yourself and how you got started, and kind of fill in the gaps of
sure.
what I didn't already cover, and who Alan Palmer is today.
Oh my gosh. Well, there's so many
Yeah.
things. But I started at about 5 years old performing. I went to see a production of Peter Pan with my parents. It was a national tour that came through, and I just fell in love with the theater immediately. The magic of somebody being able to fly on stage. And so my parents looked for some places for me to go, and I auditioned for some things and ended up doing Winthrop in Music Man and Oliver. And my father built me a stage in the basement where I could do shows for my friends. There were only 3 seats, but that's okay because there were hardly three people in our neighborhood. And it was super fun. And I really fell in love with it. I did Footloose, the original movie, so that tells you how old I am. And yeah, so I've been doing movies and television and theater forever and a day, and it's something that I absolutely love. And because my spouse is so incredibly supportive and really wants me to continue doing what I do, he keeps pushing me out there to do more and more and more. So
I
I
love
love
that.
it.
I love that. It's so nice to have a great support system, right? I mean,
It is.
honestly, did you know even then when you were putting on shows in your house, in your was it your basement, did you say?
Yeah.
Did you know then that you were going to be like this, just beautiful blossomed, performer and actor that you who you are today? Did you know
No, it's so
then?
weird because it was weird. Back then, I never wanted to move to New York. I never wanted to move to Los Angeles. So I was like, well, how are you going to do that? There were a lot of films that were being shot in Salt Lake City, Utah. I grew up in Utah, and so my parents, gosh, they would drive me an hour each way to go to do performances, places to shoot, all that stuff before I got my license, and they were very supportive of that. But the weird thing was, when I guess I was 20 years old, and they were like, "It's time for you to get out of Utah. You need to get out
Oh,
of here if you really truly want to do this. You need to get out of here because you're not going to do it here."
yeah.
So I moved to Chicago and was doing some shows there, and I was doing a production of Joseph, an Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat,
One of my
and
favorites. That's my favorite.
mine as
Oh,
well.
love
And
that.
it's weird because uh, it was a very interesting cast, but the person that was the musical director for it, or actually played piano for it, was Sean Hayes from Will and Grace. Do
Oh,
you remember him?
wow. Yeah.
And so that was kind of a strange, random thing. But anyway, I ended up being homeless in Chicago
No.
in the middle of winter. And the woman that had choreographed that show said, "Hey, I'm going to Virginia to choreograph at Busch Gardens." And she said, if you want to, you can come with me because my parents want me to have someone in the car with me. And she goes, "If you want to, I can't promise you a job, but you can at least get out of the cold." So I was like, "Sure." So I went with her, and I ended up getting cast in 3 of the shows for the year, and started working in the costume shop to make some money just before the show started, and kept working my way up. And then the way I got to New York was I was auditioning for Andrew Lloyd Webber's
Ooh.
Aspects of Love, which I was called back to be the second cover for the lead in the show.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kept getting callbacks. I got a letter from the assistant director saying that I was going to be cast in as the second cover in the show. So I moved to New York,
Oh wow.
And
The one thing you never
uh,
thought you would do, then you did.
isn't that
I
crazy?
know.
And but then the weirdest thing was Michael Ball ended up coming over. He originated it in London, so that pushed everyone off the rung one step. I happened to be the end of the rung, so I was the one that didn't get called.
Ah,
But they made it up for me later. I ended up touring with Michael Crawford and Laurie Laurie Beachman. No, not Laurie Beachman. Oh my gosh, Sarah Brightman,
got it.
doing music of Andrew Lloyd Webber. And music of Andrew Lloyd Webber in the States we did with Michael Crawford, and in Europe with Laurie Beachman. I keep saying Laurie Beachman with Sarah Sarah Brightman. Laurie Beachman did it with us in at Radio City. They
Okay.
brought Laurie Beachman in as ringer. She was the original narrator in Joseph.
Okay.
So anyway, she passed away just
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
right after we performed with her. But
Mm-hmm.
lovely, lovely woman.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of my thing and story.
Your
A million
journey.
shows in between and
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah. I
And
love
it's
it.
kind of weird that we ended up moving back to Virginia.
Yeah.
My family ended up moving back there later. So
Well,
kind of a
there.
crazy little
Yeah.
round and about.
Awesome. But you did also actually live in LA too, right? Because that's how I met you.
Oh gosh,
Goodness, that's how I met
I
you.
lived in LA, for 20 years.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Goodness. And
So
I'm telling you, you guys, he can name all the music, all the theaters, like on the like the back of his hand, all throughout, splattered through Southern California. He was like, you should perform here. You should perform there. And I'm like, okay. He's quite the theater rat. Yeah. I'd love for you to tell a little bit about like who your inspirations were growing up. Who were some of your biggest
wow.
influencers?
Well, my biggest influence in musical theater had to be Ethel Merman. You know,
Ooh.
the way that her voice kind of cut through things, and before Broadway had mics, she was able to fill a huge house of 1,000 seats without using a microphone. That
Right.
was incredible to me.
Yeah.
I liked the way that she told stories. I loved a lot of different writers. I loved Rodgers and Hammerstein. I loved obviously Andrew Lloyd Webber. I loved oh gosh, there's so many to talk about, but all these little influence actually flavored my voice. And truthfully, the Carpenters, Karen Carpenter, was who I kind of emulated my sound with, and she truly taught me where placement was before I started voice lessons.
Oh, wow.
And it was a very safe place to sing. So when I actually started professional voice lessons, I had that little heads up,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been taking different voice lessons from so many different people over the years, and learned different styles, different techniques, different options for my voice. But I've always had a healthy voice. Every once in a while, I'll lose my voice due to sinuses, but
Right.
other than that, my cords are strong and healthy.
Oh yes, and he was in the American, or when he played the American in chess. You guys, I was blown away, literally blown away. I mean, this
Oh,
was a
thank
beautiful.
you.
Of course, this was a beautiful theater. It was kind of small, and it was like 2 story, 3 stories. I can't remember, but his voice bellowed, and it was just amazing, amazing. And
Oh, thank you.
that was one of my.
That was a fun place.
Yeah.
It was a neat it was a neat theater. I think there was probably about 1,000 seats when you count the bottom,
Yeah.
the balcony and the. But it's a really cool space.
What was it called? It was called Ernest Borgnine Theater, was it not?
The Ernest Borgnine,
Borgnine
yeah.
Theater. Yeah. So if you guys don't know who he is, go Google him. He's a famous actor.
Yeah.
And so now, like I said, we met in chess when we played in chess. But you also, in your bio, you played. Oh my gosh, this is so near and dear to my heart. You also played Albert Peterson in Bye Bye Birdie. I played
Yeah.
Kim McAfee.
You did?
When I was
That's
in high
awesome.
school. It was so funny.
Oh my gosh.
Did you enjoy that role? Did you love it? I felt
It,
like
it was fun.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. I always get these little guest starring roles, and what's cool about it is I usually get to like either choreograph or direct
right.
as well. So people will bring me in just to make a little bit more money. I can do that. So they did an equity guest artist contract for it, and then Mary Jo Ocala, who ran a Copper Star Theater, asked if I wanted to choreographed it as well. So I had a great time choreographing it. And while I was there, we ended up doing a production of Schoolhouse Rock live
Yeah.
as well. So I literally did not sleep for 2 months while I was in Arizona. It was a whirlwind but I met the most incredible people. Every place you get to go, you meet such wonderful people. And Mary Jo she went to the same college I did, not at the same time, but she went to the same college. So that's how I kind of met her. And it's really fun to have, it's about making those connections, and you never know down the line where you're going to, cross paths again. And that's what's so great about this business.
Right. Okay, so let's get down and dirty to the nitty gritty here, because most people, like you said, they know you in the TV world, in the TV audience as Corcus in the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. Oh my Lord, these people over here are gonna kill me because I butchered the name. But the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. Can you tell us a little bit about that? I actually have a clip. I found a clip, and I was going to share that if that was okay with you. Do you want to look at that first? Okay, let's look at that first.
No, you're great.
You guys, I know you guys don't kill me. I'm sorry. I tried the best I could. Okay, hold on. Let me share this with you.
It was probably hard to find anything with me talking.
It was not that hard to find, but it was definite. I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to try to bring it into the...
Yeah.
Okay, so this clip... let me go turn something else down.
That was at Castaic Lake.
Was it? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, hold up, you guys. I'm going to turn some music down real quick because my pretzel rock is playing in the background. Sorry about that. Y'all know my background magic here. Okay, we're going to play this clip. It's a little bit loud, but it does show you show your character, show your that you played an alien ranger, Corcus.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's take
Mighty
a look.
Morphin Alien.
You guys take a look.
There I am. There's Raja, David, Kareem, and the first one was Jim Gray.
Yeah.
Those are all the bad guys. People laugh at this one episode because it's the bad guys wait so long for us to ever morph or do anything. It's like, oh.
I know, I saw that.
To blow them out of the water. It's very funny.
And those
I haven't
kids.
seen too many of these.
Yeah.
Oh, they were great.
This is quite the thing.
And the costumes were made out of velvet.
Ooh.
And what was really funny about that is, velvet doesn't do well with water.
Right.
So
right.
we were in water all the time.
Yeah.
A little crazy.
Okay, is there, let's see. I think you get a cameo even closer. I was just gonna, if it's okay with you, I was gonna play a little bit more.
Sure.
Corcus, second. So this is the gesture.
Yeah, so it's
Oh.
what it is. It makes a heart in the center of the pyramid,
Okay.
which is really cool. And our leader Raja actually came up with that. And then when we put them all together, we make like a whole star in the middle of it, which is really cool. Yeah, Raja was super fun to work with, and she's very knowledgeable. She does a lot of voiceover work now for a ton of things, and super fun. But she's not feeling extremely well right now, so she's not going to be coming to Morphicon this year, which I'm sure everybody is devastated because it was the first time we were all going to be in the same room together after all these years.
Right. Oh my goodness. Well, there you go, you guys. There was there was Corcus in the Mighty Power Ranger. Do you know what that was? That the intro episode to the Alien Rangers?
It was.
Okay.
It was. Yeah, the pilot. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, it was super fun. We got all sorts of really strange places that we shot. It was early calls, and gosh, we had to go clear up to where Magic Mountain is.
Oh,
we went up that way. That's where we shot Valencia.
Right, way up there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So
So
now I know, okay, this coming weekend is the
Morphicon.
Power Morphica I said Morphincon, my goodness. Morphicon here in Pasadena, which is not too
It
far from
is.
here. Both Friday, I'm sorry, both. It's all weekend, Friday,
It's
Saturday, and Sunday.
Yep,
You're
Friday,
in
Saturday, Sunday. I'm only there Friday and Saturday,
okay.
but it's running all weekend. Tons and tons and tons of Mighty Morphin stars. They're all there. All the Rangers are hanging around, and it's like a big party. There's a
Yeah.
whole bunch of fans that come in, and we have panels where we answer a lot of questions. We do games. We have dinners. We VIP breakfast with us and some of the fans, and there's a whole bunch of things, and it's been so much fun. You know, it was like 15 years after we even shot it that they started asking us to come to these Morphicons,
Mm-hmm.
these conventions. I had no clue, and it's been so fun to be traveling all over the world and meeting fans. And it's so humbling and rewarding to be able to meet all these wonderful people,
Oh my God.
and it makes you feel grateful for
Yeah.
what you do.
You're gonna meet my son this coming Saturday. Oh my goodness, he's gonna
You're
he
kidding!
no, I mean he's grown. He's 26 years old. He's
Oh my
grown.
gosh!
When I told him, he was like, "Oh, mom, hello, mom." I'm like, "Yeah, I already know." And I go, "Just do me one big favor, please, 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 don't fanboy anybody, please." And he's like, "Mom," and I'm like, "Okay, go ahead. It's gonna be fun. You'll meet him." He's anxious
Cool.
to
Tell
meet
me
you
his
as well.
name.
His name is Aaron, just like me.
Aaron.
Same last
Oh,
name.
that's easy.
Yeah.
My son's Aaron as well,
There you
so
go.
that's easy to
Very
remember.
cool. Now, you also said, I heard you say in another interview about how, obviously the fandom is growing exponentially at these cons, but you
Yeah.
also talked about the group of you as a fraternity of sorts. Why don't you tell a little bit about that?
It truly is. It's a family. It's amazing how many. I was so afraid to go to this last con that I just went to because Raja hasn't been going with me. I always felt safe with her. I have a little anxiety about meeting
Oh,
people in person. I love the craft. I love doing all that. It's that
sure.
one-on-one sort of thing. But it was so great. Steve Cardenas, who is the second Red Ranger. I call him the original, but he really wasn't the original Red Ranger. But he is so generous and so kind, and Catherine Sutherland and Nikita, and just a whole group of them that are so incredibly kind and loving, and just kind of hold you in there
Right.
and help you be part of the whole thing. And it's a really neat community, and I didn't realize how fun the community was until I went to let's see, it was called Ranger Stop. No,
Oh.
not Ranger Stop. It was one in Atlanta just recently. It might have been Ranger Stop, and it's run by Power Rangers themselves. So
Oh,
they
nice.
actually
Uh-huh.
do the convention, and the dinner that night. So we did a newlywed game with different Rangers competing against each other, and Steve goes, just come on, come and be my team. So we had to answer questions about each other. Well, obviously, Steve and I don't know anything about each other outside of
Oh, just
Power
make stuff
Rangers.
up.
So, and most of them didn't, but there's some of them that there's a sisterhood and brotherhood that they do everything together. They raise their kids together and all that. So
Right.
they obviously won. And Bulk and Skull, I mean, they do everything together. I mean, they're actually billed as Bulk and Skull every time they go to any of the cons. So they won because they know each other
Yeah.
backwards and forwards.
Oh my goodness.
And then just playing games with the fans. We did limbo contests. We did trivia contests with the fans, and it was just so incredibly fun
Yeah.
that I really want to go back to that one. That was a fun one. Ranger Station. That's what it
Ranger
was.
Station. It's gonna come to him.
There's so many of them just
Yeah.
recently that I'm going, gosh, where did I go?
Yeah. Well, that's great. My kids learned their colors from the Power Rangers. Honestly.
Really? That's awesome.
Honestly, they honestly did. You know, they knew all the colors. After that, you know, of course, they identified with the red, the pink, and the blue, and the yellow, and whatnot. In fact, I knew the original Black Power Ranger, Walter Jones. He and I went to.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
I love Walter.
I love him too. He and I went we went to a performing arts school in San Diego called United States International University School of Performing and Art,
Oh,
Visual Arts. We went there together. We were in combat classes together. It was
really?
quite the fun thing. Yeah, yeah, it was like a lot of
I'm
fun.
going to get to see him hopefully on Saturday. I think
So
he said he was coming to this one.
okay,
He hasn't been at the past few that I've done, but
yeah.
I always love seeing him. He's got such a great smile
Oh
and
yeah,
just always so positive.
yeah. Okay, so now I want to know a little bit about like what do you look forward to when you go to these pop culture events? Like when what's one thing that you can, you know, chalk up on the board and say, oh, it happened again, and it's a great thing because this.
I think my favorite thing is how many fans have special needs, and
Oh, okay.
to see them light up is like something just so precious to me. And most of the time, they when they get in front of you, they don't talk. They just smile and just stare at you.
Oh,
And so you have to carry on a conversation and try to ask some questions and kind of bring it out of them. You know that it means something to them, but they don't know how to, vocalize it. And
right.
it's just it's so humbling
Mm-hmm.
every time getting to meet these beautiful people.
I love that.
And
Mm-hmm.
I think that's my favorite thing. And being able to um, give to, charities and any of those kind of things, and hearing stories about how um, these shows have made an impact on people's personal lives and how it saved people. I met a gentleman
Wow.
in Atlanta that said it actually saved him from committing suicide,
Wow.
um,
Yeah.
which is powerful,
Yeah.
you know.
See the power of the Power Rangers,
Yeah,
whether you
it
be
truly is.
alien Power Ranger or a regular Power Ranger. I love that. Oh God, I had something on the tip of my tongue. Have your kids ever seen the Power Rangers? Have they watched it?
It's interesting. So my son was born the year we shot it.
Okay.
So he really wasn't into that. And then my daughter really didn't care about it until she got into junior high school, and then all of a sudden it was like, my dad's a Power Ranger, and so she
Yeah.
got into that side of it, and then all of a sudden she watched it on Netflix and all that. So yeah,
Right.
she got into it later.
Oh my goodness. Oh goodness. I love that. I love to hear the backstories. I love to hear how not only how your support system, your family and your friends supported you, but also how do they see you? How do they perceive you as? Do they treat you any differently, or
Usually the annoying one that always is the one that organizes things. We always did game nights at our house. We'd always do dinners at our house, and
yeah.
and so that was our way of bringing our theater group of family together. And boy, did we have a huge community.
I love it. Yeah.
And it was really tough to leave here when we did.
Mm-hmm.
It was really tough because, boy, we have a community here. And what was great about it is I just got finished directing Godspell down in Buena Park,
Right.
and I cast friends that haven't performed in 20 years. All these fun people that I just love spending time with. And it was so much fun to be able to spend 2 weeks nonstop together creating a piece of art.
That's
And
beautiful.
and
Mm-hmm.
it's so great,
Mm-hmm.
and to be able to have that experience is priceless, and I'll never forget those
I
times.
love it. That's awesome. Can you share with us some of your upcoming projects other than the cons, or what do you have going?
Absolutely.
Sure.
So we're trying to take my new musical Chanteuse to off Broadway. It's a beautiful piece. It takes place in the 1930s. It's about a young gay man who is trying to escape being sent into the concentration camps for being gay. And so he takes on his late landlady's identity and becomes a chanteuse in the supper clubs of Berlin. and in order to escape persecution. It's a beautiful musical. The
Nice.
music was written by David Legg. I wrote the lyrics and the story, and it's powerful. We did it at Richmond Triangle Players this last year
Oh, wow.
to crazy reviews and just wonderful feedback, and so we really know we have a good product. So we're excited about that. And I'm looking forward to going back to, I don't know if I'm supposed, they haven't announced it yet, but I'm going back to Michigan this October to return to play Frank-N-Furter and Rocky Horror for the third time, which is my all-time. It seriously is the funnest show to do. I don't know how fun it is to watch, but it is super fun to do. We are sold out every night, all the time. Every time they do it there, it's sold out. It's 550 seats. And people come in the middle of Michigan. It's like in the middle of nowhere. This great theater that a friend of mine, the Ragazzi family, his parents opened it 76 years ago.
Oh, my.
And it's a summer theater. It's a professional summer theater program that has about 10 equity contracts a year, a show, and they invite, I guess, oh gosh, what's her name? Jennifer Garner got her equity card there.
Wow, nice.
Tom Wopat got his card there. So many Broadway people that you can think of, they all got their start there. You remember Jonathan Larson, who wrote Rent?
Oh, yeah.
Rent.
Mm-hmm.
He actually was a pianist there for 1 year.
Oh, wow.
And was writing
Yeah.
shows there, and just all sorts of fun people. But it's a really cool place. So if anyone's near Michigan, please come out and see Rocky Horror. You'll have a great time. We get to do the callbacks. Everyone can shout out at us while we're there. You just can't throw stuff.
Awesome. Pac-Man, can you shout that out one more time? The Chanteuse musical link there, and his and all his other socials, if you don't mind. That would be awesome. We are at we're at the segment of our podcast where we are going to open it up to some Q&A, if you don't mind. So if anybody
Absolutely.
in our chat has a question, please let us know. Let's see. I can't throw the toast. Anybody have a question? Voodoo, I know you have to have a question. There's got to be a question in you. But anybody in chat that has a question, please.
Well, while we're waiting,
Yeah.
I didn't talk about one of my all-time favorite shows was Lovelace,
Yes.
a rock opera that was based off of Linda Lovelace. I don't know if you've heard of Linda Lovelace.
Sounds
She
familiar. Yeah.
she was a porn star.
Okay.
And
my
she
goodness.
started in it. I know. I said no to the project at first, but it was about her doing Deep Throat, and I played the director of Deep Throat. It was a rock opera that it was so much fun to sing, and it was written by Charlotte Caffey from the Go-Go's, and she wrote all the music for the Go-Go's, and she's the lead guitarist for the Go-Go's. And Anna Waronker, her father was the head of Warner Chappell Music, and Jeffery Bowman, who created the show. I worked with him a few times doing other projects, and actually he was the one, because of me directing a show that he wrote, I got into Power Rangers because of the casting director who produced it. So it's this weird circle.
Right.
But anyway, it starred Katrina Link, who just won the Tony Award for Band's Visit a couple of years ago.
Oh, nice.
And she just closed Company on Broadway. She was the lead in Company.
Oh, my
So
goodness.
it's kind of a really good cast,
Yeah.
really great group of people.
Did I ask you about how you got into Power Rangers? I think we just glossed over that. Tell us a little bit again
We
about
did.
that. We completely
So
glossed over it. What's wrong with
Isn't
me?
that crazy?
Yeah. Okay.
So I was directing a show called Inaccurate Information at the Hudson Theater, and it was written by Jeffery Bowman, and he'd written these little one-act vignettes. And I was like, we've got to make it so that it doesn't seem like we're just watching one act. There's got to be a through line to it. So I made the through line New York City and kind of connected it that way. And one of the producers, Randy Taraborelli, one of the producers, he wrote the Whitney Houston unauthorized biography and a Michael
Okay.
Jackson biography, and he's done a bunch of stuff. And then Katie Wallen, who was a casting director for Power Rangers, she was one of the producers as well. And we rehearsed at Katie Wallen's studio, and she pulled me over and said, "Hey, Alan, would you want to audition for this show called the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers?" And I was like, "Sure." And she goes, "I can only get you in the door. I can't get you cast, but if you want to go in and audition, you'd be more than welcome." And I was like, "Yeah." So by the time I left the building and got to my car, I got the phone call saying that I got the show, which
Ah,
was wonderful.
yeah.
It was super fast. And we started shooting. Well, I started costume measurements like a day later,
Oh,
which was,
nice.
so it was really quick. It was a whirlwind sort of thing.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, we have a question here. So, sorry, I didn't mean to gloss it over.
That's all
One
right.
of the questions by Off the Cuff Gaming is asking, what were the sides like when you auditioned?
The sides for Power Rangers?
For Power Rangers Off the Cuff? Or... And then the other question was, how was the process of getting fit for the Corcus makeup?
Oh, wow. Good question. So the sides for Power Rangers were something about talking to Zordon, and we talked, and so I don't know why, but every one of us that were cast, we all were legitimate actors to begin with, stage actors. So we all had this sort of put on voice that was, greetings Zordon, this sort of thing. And we would, and so I think everyone had almost the exact same sort of read.
Yeah.
And they cast legitimate actors for these parts, which was really cool. Now, to go for the mask, that was crazy.
Yeah.
We went to an FX, building where they put saran wrap on our heads, and then they put like petroleum jelly all over us.
Ooh.
And then they poured, and put straws up our nose. And then they poured this like
mold,
plaster of Paris on us.
Mhm.
And we had to stay in it for a half an hour, I remember.
Oh my!
And then it was kind of a little claustrophobic, but it was kind of cool. And then they sawed it off. They took a saw and they cut it off. And then they used that mold to create our heads. And then from our heads, they made the silicone masks that we used. They were very form-fitting, and they were great. And I wish I would have taken one. I should have asked for one, because we each had two of those, and we had two costumes, but they got rid of them afterwards. And I wish I would have asked for one. But I thought we were coming back. We were in negotiations to come back for a spin-off series, but that didn't end up working out. But
yeah, you hear about these actors that kind of take a little piece of the real estate or a little piece of the props to kind of.
I always ask.
Oh, good for
I
you.
always ask, because I'm too honest. I'm a little too honest with that kind of stuff.
I think when we were like breaking down, we're striking chess. I think people were just. I'm not me. I wasn't one of them, but I knew people were just kind of striking and taking, because for other reasons. But yeah.
Well, what I don't even know what we could have taken off that set.
I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question. I really don't know what we.
Because I think everyone had their own costumes.
Yeah, I know. I had to bring my own costume. That was quite the funny thing.
Yeah.
The whole set was just hilarious. Everything about it was super funny and hilarious. All right, another.
And the drops were asbestos, by the way.
The drops were what? Say it again.
Made out of asbestos, so you didn't want to move them.
And you guys.
So if you ever have sinus things, you'll know why.
Do you know, Alan? I have that video of me and you doing One Night in Bangkok.
Claudio just sent that to me.
Oh, that's so funny, because when I looked at that and I was horrified at me, because first of all,
I was horrified at me too.
I was completely horrified. Not at you were fabulous, but me, because remember, I came in as a ringer, as a vocal ringer. Next thing you know, I'm dancing. I'm like, how the heck did this even happen? So, and that was quite the thing.
That's funny.
That was quite the thing. But do you remember our set? I loved our set so much, because it was an actual like slab of
chessboard.
Yeah, it was a chessboard, you guys, and that's how we did some of the ensemble numbers on the chessboard itself. was quite the
Yeah.
thing.
It was very
It
cool.
was really neat. Okay, we have another question. It says, any bloopers that you remember while being the alien?
Um, well, one of the things I remember eating so many popsicles. So they gave us choices of what we wanted to do for this day out at Castaic. It was super hot, and I was like, oh, it would be really funny if I had like 4 popsicles in each hand and like started eating them. Well, it was funny the first couple of times, but when we shot it like 16 times, I had to keep eating these popsicles, and they were dripping all over and getting all over. So I think they have a couple of those bloopers on the outtakes of
Oh.
that piece. But it was very fun. We were all getting super sick from all the sugar that we
Oh
had that day.
no. I challenge one of you guys go find those bloopers. Yeah. Okay. All right. There's another question here. Have you ever, from Voodoo, have you ever seen the Super Sentai? How was the process of playing new characters of Rangers that already had personality?
Well, so I know they used some of the footage for the fight scenes of Super Sentai. I hadn't seen all of them until years later. So I really didn't know what to base my character off of. I knew that my character was supposed to be inquisitive and wasn't really the talker. So he was the one that was pulling in all the information and storing it for everyone else. So I just felt like he was like a puppy or a preschooler that was just wanting to know about every little thing. So he would put his hands on things. He would be super close to looking at objects and maybe taste them, maybe maybe figure out what made them work. And that was super fun. I really liked my character, even though I didn't have a lot of the storyline. I had a full arc in my head. So
Got it. All right, I think we have one more question up here. I think we may have asked this question, or maybe it was a little bit different. Did you ever snag anything from the set, or did JDF ruin it for everyone?
Oh, we're not going to go there.
Yeah.
But no, we didn't. And I really wish I would have talked to my the costume mistress there, because I'm sure she would have probably let us have something, because we had 2 of everything. I think a lot of people did end up with them, especially the first season people. I think they ended up with the costumes because they would change them out.
Mm-hmm.
They would switch costumes and designs and logos every year or 2. But like I said, I think we were really thinking that we were coming back. So yeah. But I did keep all my sides. Every day they give you the script, a smaller version of a script and the sides that you were shooting for the day.
Mm-hmm.
I kept all those and and the originals and ADR was really cool there too, where you would go into the studio and dub in your voice after for everything. That was fun. That was really fun. We weren't paid for that, but that was fun.
Yeah. I think we have a comment here. The Sentai for the Alien Rangers were supposed to be ninjas, which is a far cry from the aquatic Rangers we get in America. I don't know enough about the Power Rangers. I'm not a Power Ranger aficionado, other than, my kids grew up with it and I knew only so much. And then Patrick, did you want to ask your question here? I can't check the Facebook page, but here, Annie, here's my question for Alan. How come the Alien Rangers cast didn't get top billing for the Alien Rangers episodes?
It's very interesting. I think once again, I think they were in contract negotiations. So the Power Rangers themselves were shrunk down to kids, and so they were using the kids as the credits at the beginning of the show. I was really surprised about that too. It's kind of bummed. And truthfully, I think that's the reason why we are kind of, if you'll excuse the expression, the bastard children out of the group. I think we're the ones that are kind of stayed, kind of kept to the side. Someone puts us in the corner, and
nobody puts baby in the corner.
They do put baby in the corner all the time. the reason why is because, they never saw our faces. They saw our faces with the masks and all that. I think that's the reason why we're kind of that little group of people that people either love the aliens or they're like, it was a throwaway season. So we're either of those two.
I have a question.
But we do have a lot of fans that like it.
Yeah. I have a question for you. What is one of your most memorable moments, like on set of the as an alien ranger?
Oh wow! I'm going to say something very random. I was eating lunch and was sitting with one of the producers, and happened to know. Just started talking to him, and he was talking about this woman that he knew in New York, who happened to be my ex-boss in New York. And he had the biggest crush on her going through school. And they grew up overseas, but I can't think where. And he talked about this woman, I can't say her name him, but he talked about he loved her. He was able to get them in contact with each other. And they had this kind of mini reunion for all these years of not seeing each other. I'm talking, they were in high school together, and he was probably like in his 50s.
Right.
So that was a long time to be away from someone you absolutely adored. But that was kind of fun.
That was good memory. One more question from chat. What is it like doing the voice dubbing on the fight scenes?
That's funny. It's really funny because you do a lot of that kind of thing over and over, and you just kind of see where your character is doing certain things and just do a lot of those, a lot of grunts.
I think
it's fun.
I had a voice actor on the podcast not too long ago. Laura, her name is Laura Faye Smith, and she voiced a character for Genshin Impact and something else. Or no, was it Genshin Impact? Anyway, so she was saying the same thing, that there was a lot of a lot of exclamations and such. I thought that was pretty fun. We have a question from Wifey Loves Nerd. Hello, Wifey. One question is, did you ever have to do any stunts on the show?
We did not. Well, actually, that's not true. We did a couple of them in our own costumes and not the fighting costumes, the ninja costumes. We did little stunts, but not like the other. And this is kind of a funny story. So my stunt double was a woman who they tied down, so you couldn't see, and she was short, and so she played my stunt double. However, my friend Raja, who played Delphine, hers was a man with a bra, a stuffed bra. So go make sense out of that. I have no idea. It was so crazy. Just crazy things like that.
Yeah. I love it. Let's see. So we have a question. You don't have to do this, Alan. If you want to, you can. Can you do your ranger call? Black Aqua?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Oh, Black Aquatar Ranger Power?
Yeah.
Is it Black Aquatar Ranger Power? It's morphin' time.
How do you like that, Voodoo? I love it. Oh my goodness, that is so funny. I love it. Thank you so much for that.
I haven't done that forever. You're welcome.
It just rolls off your tongue, doesn't it?
It does.
Oh my goodness. All right, you guys, last call for questions. If there are other questions wearing the costume.
And by the way, if there's anyone out there that wants to cast a voiceover actor, I love doing voiceovers, and I do a lot of kids' voices too. So,
can you get me into voice acting?
Different voices there.
I would love to. I would love to do.
Those are super fun.
I would love to do a little bit of voice acting. I did it for just tiny little scripts for mostly pre-rolls for podcasts, for other people's podcasts, and then mid-rolls, and then some end rolls. But dude, if you know anybody,
they're fun, huh?
Yeah, I love them.
And I started out doing a vocal call for a radio station where I grew up. We play the hottest hits. We're 15 KJQ and up. That sort of thing. And so
that is so cool. I have a question from Meow. Meow says, "Hello, Meow. How many dates hookups did that role get you? Ah.
Ooh. Well, Meow, I hate to say this, but I was married at the time,
Oh,
so
there.
none.
No,
So I was
no, the
lucky to
same
be
one every
settled
night.
down. The
Oh my
same
goodness.
one, which is a good thing.
Yeah, there you go. One
It
more.
didn't even impress my kids, so there you go.
More info on voice acting, please. Somebody says, I can't do voice acting, but I would love to be an extra or something. I would love to do more voice
Extra
acting.
work is easy.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, voice acting's a little rough to get into.
Yeah.
It really is who you know. And some of the really great ones that the casting directors that are in Hollywood, a lot of them, there's a couple that have passed away recently.
Right.
And so they were the ones that really are, kind of got a lot of people out there and were willing to take on new talent and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it's a really tough one to break into.
Oh,
It
I
really
know.
is.
We have one more question, and then we're going to move on, you guys. So thank you so much for your questions. The last question is: do you ever get recognized or do you ever get stopped and people recognize you on the street?
Okay, so the weirdest one was I was in Athens, Greece,
Wow.
and I was walking down the street. Now, first of all, I was, they must have seen on Facebook or something, but because we were covering,
Yeah.
on. But this gentleman came to meet me in Athens, Greece, and started talking to me, and we had this whole interaction for about a half an hour, and my family was all going, "Okay, can we go now?"
Oh my goodness.
Be able to have this conversation, and
Yeah.
and then we also met someone in London as well that kind of
Yeah.
that came up to me and said, "Be Alan Palmer, would you?" I was like, "Yeah, how would you know?"
Oh my goodness.
So
Wow.
cool.
And it goes to show you. Did he recognize you from the show? From
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And another one that was really crazy. I went to this interesting con up north. It's like the wine valley, sort of, the wine
Uh-huh.
area.
Yeah.
And there was the Star Trek people there, Battlestar Galactica people. I'm talking like Dirk Benedict,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
famous people, and a couple of other people that were all there. And we all went out after the con and went to dinner. And everyone came over to, we all sat at the same table, and someone came over and said, "Oh my God, you're here." And I thought they were talking to the person next to me, and they were asking me to come back to the kitchen to meet some people. And I was like, I'm the least famous out of these people, y'all. You can talk to me. These are amazing. And the other thing is, my daughter had a Girl Scout troop, and in our Girl Scout troop, we had my friend who her cousin is Gwyneth Paltrow. So she did work. She did Saved by the Bell. She was Screech's first
Oh,
kiss.
right.
And
Neat.
then this other woman who was the lead on Kevin Can Wait,
Yeah,
a TV series. She's huge actress. I mean, she's done everything. She's really famous. So we were all going to this like thrift store for Christmas to show girls what we do. We were volunteering to put, to donate, and then showing how we could help and give back and all that. And this person came up and said, "Is there someone here famous?" And I was like, and I pointed over to Erin because I was like, "It's got to be her." And I was like, "Yeah, she's here." And it was like, "No, it's a guy." And I was like, I was like, "There's no," and they're like, they go, "Are you from the Power Rangers?" And I was like, "Oh my hell." But yeah. It's just random because, it's just work. You do what you do,
Right. Right.
for a fact, you do what you love to do. And hopefully someone likes it enough to watch. And that's the key to the whole cycle.
Yeah, no, I think you touch on a really good point in that, first of all, the Power Rangers was so universal, right? That it transcended color lines, language
Yeah.
barriers and whatnot. And to be able to be recognized like in Greece, goodness, that's a wonderful thing, right?
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. It's like a small world, yeah. All right, you guys, thank you so
And
much.
it's funny. That's when my daughter grabs me
Yeah.
and acts like, yeah, he's mine. I was like, yeah, now you want to be my friend.
Yeah, now you want to ride on these coattails. Thank you, everybody, for the questions. We're gonna
Thank
close up
you. I
pretty soon.
appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay. So I would love for you to tell everybody one thing about yourself that people don't already know.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm shy. For one thing.
What? Get
People don't
out.
realize that I really, really, truly am painfully shy. So if I ever come off a little aloof to somebody, I totally do not mean to, because I really love people, but it gives me agita to try to be in social situations a lot of time. I get used to it
Yeah.
after a little bit, but it's unnerving to be able to walk into a party or something like that.
Yeah.
It freaks me out. So that's kind of weird.
But you shine on stage and you're in your element, and this is where you're. I mean,
you.
this is you guys night and day. I'd never guessed that he was shy. So if you see him on the street and he's shy, and then you see him on stage, he's just diva. It's just amazing.
As long as I can play a character, I'm good.
Yeah, there you go. And then, okay, advice to we're down to our last few questions, everybody. Advice to aspiring
Aspiring
actors out there, and some parting words for our words of wisdom for our listeners.
Sure. So it's interesting how many people think that this is a glamorous sort of existence, and truthfully, once you're a working actor all the time, it's actually a really great thing. But you're going to spend many, 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 many years honing your craft. Please take classes. Don't just expect that it's just this magic thing that you become an actor. It's many years of work,
Right.
and honing that craft, and finding the best teachers and directors and all that, and getting if you take college, if you go to college, make sure you take business classes, because business is what it is. You are a product and you're selling yourself. So you need to know how to market yourself and know how to sell yourself. And Annie, you're a good example of that. You need to know how to brand yourself. You need to know how to get yourself out there and have millions of people watch you and see you, and slowly but surely that brand takes off, and it's an ever growing thing, and never on social media, especially because it's out there forever. Don't be mean to anyone. Watch political views, keep them to yourself. Watch your religious views, personal views on people, all those kind of things. You need to keep it to yourself. And I guarantee you that will change. If you're a negative person to those kind of things, I guarantee it will be positive at some point in time, because when you don't spread poison out there, it dies off pretty fast. I hope, and I hope we can all spread a little more kindness in the world, because we really need it right now.
Yes.
There's just too much negative out there.
Yes. Oh, great words of wisdom, you guys. Yet I love that what he said. Don't spread poison, right? Spread more kindness and positivity. I love that. That's awesome. Oh,
definitely.
My goodness. All right, you guys. And where can we follow you? Oh, actually, Pac-Man, I think you have them, right? So we'll go ahead and blast all the socials down there again, and then the chanteuse as well. But Alan, I am so thankful and so grateful that you were here and that we were able to connect again.
I'm super excited that we got to talk.
No, and I will see you this Saturday. I'm going to bring my son in tow. He's going to, I'm going to apologize now for his fanboy and his starstruckness. But when he asks you for your autograph, there I'll be like and a picture, I'm sure, but thank you. I had a wonderful time here spending to reconnecting with you and just kind of
Rekindling
reliving.
our friendship.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
I greatly appreciate you asking me to come do this. It's been fun, and I'm so proud of everything that you're doing and
Oh, thank you.
spreading to the world. So
I
keep it up.
appreciate it. I will. I will. Thank you very much. We're not going to rate anybody, you guys, but just everybody, please, 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 warm welcome, warm thank you, and accolades and applause for my awesome and just beautiful, handsome friend, Alan Palmer. Everybody, Alan Palmer.
Thank you, Annie.
You're welcome. Have a good night. Thank you so much.
You as well.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Okie dokie. We are off, guys. Thank you so much, everybody. Bye, Alan.
Thank you. We'll see you later.
I hope you enjoyed that, everybody. I had so much fun. Thanks for answering my questions. Oh, my question that's been on my mind for 25 years. You're so amazing. Thank you, you guys. All right, I will talk to you all later. Everybody, please have a blessed night. I will speak. If you guys want to hang out in Discord, please come join me in Discord. But other than that, thank you all. Have a good night. Love you all. Goodbye.